Good evening, and welcome to the mayoral portion of the 2023 Waterloo Municipal Debate, sponsored by Northern Iowa Student Government in partnership of Women of Action, Cedar Valley Activate, and the Cedar Falls Waterloo branch of the American Association of University Women. For the mayoral portion, we have two candidates on the ballot today, Quentin Hart and Wayne Natham. Unfortunately, Quentin Hart will not be with us today, so during the introductory portion, we'll be reading a letter on his behalf. I do want to remind the candidate that's here today that we are going to be limiting the introductory to 90 seconds. Then questions, answers will be to 60 seconds. Rebuttals to yourself, if you want to, are 30 seconds. And then closing remarks are going to be 60 seconds. Thank you.
I will start by reading Mayor Hart's letter. Thank you for inviting me to participate in your mayoral debate as I seek another term as mayor. I am unable to participate due to a previously scheduled medical procedure I am undergoing on the same day. These past 2 years in office have included many wins for Waterloo, from tens of millions of dollars in street and bridge improvements to over $115 million in economic development projects. Whether it's redeveloping brownfields or upgrading infrastructure, our progress has led to our 5th highest construction total in city history and 2nd highest housing total. The lighting experience on the 4th Street Bridge is a symbol of unity and hope for so many in our community. The city's broadband utility project, Waterloo Fiber, also serves literally as a way to connect us to the digital advantage high-speed internet can foster for residents and businesses. Thanks to millions of dollars in grants and federal monies we secured, these projects can take shape without being a burden on taxpayers. I am grateful for what has been accomplished, but committed to all the work yet to be done. Our 2030 vision plan is in motion, and although much has been achieved, there is much more ahead I hope to see through. Serving the citizens of this great city has been an honor and a privilege. Thank you for believing in me and believing in Waterloo. Vote Hart for mayor. And now you can have 90 seconds for your introduction. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you for Women in Action of Northern Iowa and so forth. Here's what I've got. My theme is working towards a better Waterloo. How do you do that? Provide the department heads with the necessary tools so they can do a better job, and give them leadership and a direction to that, what needs to be done. Also, my platform consists of a total quality leadership, taking charge and lead when and where necessary. I have 53 years in business of various kinds, and here we go. I've always concerned myself as a blue-collar person. My background is in business for the last 53 years. My last 23 years was in trucking, running a small trucking company, Natham Enterprises, DBA CBC Freight. Before that, I had Iowa Creating Packaging, making special creating and packaging for John Deere. Also, after that, I was in the construction business, putting in water and sewer main for different municipalities, and also in construction doing concrete work. The skills that I have learned in the businesses, I will bring with me and will be paramount as mayor for the Waterloo, for a better Waterloo.
Excuse me, your time is up. Okay. I promise we'll ask good questions so you can say the most in your answers.
Okay, you want me to go first? Yes, I think you were actually trying to get to this, but what attributes do you have to fulfill the role of mayor if you're elected?
What role will I play?
What attributes do you bring to fulfill that role?
Okay, what I'll bring is my 53 years as a business person and the different businesses I've had. I've had to be a CEO, I've had to be a finance director, I've had to be a dispatcher, I've had to be one that got the grease and dirt underneath my fingernails. I worked hard. I'm very proud of my work ethics, and I'm not afraid to go out here and get all that stuff done. And I think I can bring quality leadership as mayor to Waterloo.
What have you done and what will you do to prepare for the role of mayor if elected?
So what I will do, I will meet with the different directors and personnel within the different departments, let them know what I expect of them, and let them tell me what they would like to have in exchange for my leadership. I believe I am going to be the better candidate. I'm a due person and a listener, and I'll give them the tools so they can do the job better.
So the working relationships between the mayor, city council, city staff, and citizens serving on committees are important to forward progress. As mayor, what would you do to continually improve the working relationships, develop mutual respect and understanding, and define roles and expectations?
Okay, I would have an open door policy that they could come and talk to me anytime when they do have a problem. And like I say, I will give them direction and they can come and with their suggestions so we can have a better Waterloo.
Can you give some examples in your background that give some evidence of your leadership skills?
Again, please.
Can you give some examples from your background that would show your leadership skills?
Like I say, 52, 53 years in business. My businesses were also successful and so forth. If they were not, I never did have to worry about where the money was coming from because I was very active in it, and I'll be an active mayor. And like I say, I'll sit here on Monday night when it comes time and listen to what also the constituents have to say.
Well, what are the top 3 things that you hope to influence if you're elected?
Well, as I look at this time, the city bonding debt is $151 million. That is too much. We need to get that rolled back, and the way we're going to do that is going to have to take a look at bonding less. Another area that we got to take a look at is the tax increment finance district. Right now, in that TIF area, I think we started out here when Mayor Hart took office. We had 7. I think we're up to 11 now. And during that period of time in the TIF, the people don't start paying their taxes till about the 18th, 19th, and 20th year. We need to change that so that they start paying a lot sooner, maybe along about 10 or 15 years. And when that happens, well, then we can lower our property tax. It will not happen overnight, but we can get it done.
Yeah, and I have a follow-up question to that. So do you think tax abatements like that should be used at all?
On a limited basis, yes. Because you got to have business coming in. We got like Cedar Falls that does give tax abatement, and so we got to follow some of that. But we've also got to set up our own policies, and like I mentioned, and not give that 18, 19, 20 year before they start paying taxes. We'll get that down to where maybe in 10 years, 5 years, 10 years. It just depends how much money that they are spending in their area, how much we allot for tax abatement.
What are your plans to increase economic development in Waterloo?
Of course, we've got a community development director. We've got to work with him and give him direction and so forth. But I think we've got a lot of things that we can do here in Waterloo. We got businesses here that we need to take and grow instead of, and also bring in businesses that are looking to come from outside. But the ones that within our community is already established here, we employ here, we spend money here, and I think that's a big plus for Waterloo.
So how do you think Waterloo is doing in responsibly managing money from taxpayers. Do you see that there's any unnecessary spending going on? And if you do, can you be specific?
Well, I think the people in Waterloo expect us to be very responsible for our tax dollars. And as mayor, I'll be a watchdog looking over that, making sure that the city of Waterloo is spending responsibly. Um, I think the people is owed that.
And can I have a spell? Okay. So will you keep future taxes down? Do you think you should increase them? If you want to keep them or lower them, how will you do that?
Okay, at present, their property tax is $19.75 per thousand for property tax. You're not going to be able to lower that immediately, but you're going through the TIF area and maybe letting some of that TIF area sunset when it comes due, and get away from some of these sweetheart deals. That's where you're going to save some money and lower your property tax.
What good investments do you think Waterloo has made? What investments should the city make next to build its future?
That can be a pretty tough question, I think, and so forth. Waterloo, I think, can be the first to make investments for a better life in Waterloo, and that we should continue that. We need to be a very diverse Waterloo, and this year, division between east side, west side, north side, south side should all be one, and not people saying, well, east side, east side. We all need to be one, and working together.
So, are you in favor or are you opposed to Waterloo adopting a city manager form of government?
I've been approached with that. I think the city manager could bring to the table a lot of expertise. There's some pluses and some minuses to it. Like I say, the plus side of it, he's an expert on how to deal with different things in Waterloo. The minus side, I'd look at what's it going to cost Waterloo. How long is he going to stay here? And I'll go back and say something else. We had a police chief that we hired from Texas. He did not stay here. If you hire a city manager, are we going to hire him or he does not stay here and end up having to pay out too much money? So, but I think it could be a plus. I'm ready to sit on the fence and let the public decide through a referendum.
Waterloo has taken some action on reducing crime, reducing violence. What would you contribute toward that? Do you have any ideas on policy that would help?
Well, I think their police department has done a fairly decent job through over time. You know, we've had a lot of shootings, and when I pick up the newspaper and in there you see, well, they finally arrested this person after such a time. The police department is doing a very good job, I do believe, of catching people that's causing violence. And I would encourage the police department, I would give them all the tools that they want so that they can continue their job to the best of their ability.
So the Waterloo Cedar Falls area was most recently ranked the 6th worst place to be Black, according to 24/7 Wall Street. What would you do to improve that standing in that list?
But when I look at it, I hate to see somebody see something in the Courier where the black people are not getting what they want. I want the black people to be equal to white people, and let's not look at race. We're all one. We're all one. We all live here, and we all make our living all the same. Let's give everybody equal opportunity to make a living in Waterloo and have housing in Waterloo.
79% of gun-related deaths in Iowa are due to suicide. What resources or community outreach would you make and advocate for in your elected position?
Okay, I think we need to start working. We'll start at home, perhaps. We need to educate the parents what is going on and what to look for if their child is suicidal or not. Sometimes you cannot tell, but I think it starts at home, even in school. Perhaps something is just not right with that child, and we need to start working with that. I think some of the teachers are doing an extra job in that area and identifying a child that needs. Also, perhaps maybe we could get them in some programs, Boys and Girls Club, and some of the other programs too, where they feel like they're needed. Just, and
Thank you.
Very good. Quality of life projects in Waterloo. What do you think Waterloo should invest in for the future regarding those projects?
well, quality of life, we should be invested in quality of life, definitely. Also, we need to take a look at our surroundings. We have so many buildings that are not occupied. We got homes that are run down. We need to tear those down and work with people to help rebuild on those properties so they have a better place to live.
What quality of life projects or quality of life aspects of Waterloo do you think have been successful?
I think when I look at it as a whole, I think all through Waterloo has been successful in doing things. We've got houses that are being torn down, and we have houses that's going to be put up in those places, and there'll be a better place for them to live.
What are some other things aside from quality of life projects? What are some other things that you think Waterloo has excelled in? But could you also give an example of something you think they could have done better on? Basically, name one good thing you think that the Waterloo City Council has done in the past, 4 years, and one they could have done better on.
As a whole, I think the Waterloo City Council has done an excellent job. Periodically, I attend council meetings, and I listen to what they say, and they've been good. They've been our watchdog over many things. And they vote on what they believe in, and they're doing a good job. The city council has done a real good job.
Is there something you would work on more or want to focus on more if you were elected?
Well, I think they've addressed everything when it comes to their attention. I think they've done a good job. They've addressed things as they come up to and so forth. And they always don't agree, but that's the way it's supposed to work. And I hope that they continue that way.
What are your hopes for Waterloo's future? How would you describe Waterloo in 10, 20 years?
Well, if I had that crystal ball, I could tell you. Yes.
All right, what would you hope for Waterloo's future?
Yes.
Let's do it that way. What would you hope?
I would, when I look at everything, I hope John Deere is still here, and I hope that our Crossroad Mall starts getting occupants in it and being occupied. Waterloo is a great place to live. I've lived here for quite a number of years. I'm proud to live here. Waterloo's been good for me to live here. and I would like to see other people see the same things in Waterloo as what I've seen. And Waterloo, I've been owning trucks. I also drove trucks, and I've visited some of the bigger cities. Sometimes it takes an hour to get across town, 2 hours to get across town, 2 hours to get to work. You don't do that here in Waterloo. In Waterloo, you can get about any place you want in, let's say 15 or 20 minutes, and so forth. And I hope that in Waterloo it continues that way. We need some of our roads need to be rebuilt and repaired through our 1% option tax.
Well, I was just about to say, what are some roadblocks or challenges to getting to that future? So you can basically keep going.
Okay. As most of us know, Waterloo has a 1% road tax, option tax. And at this time, there's plenty of roads that need to be rebuilt. And at this time, there's a thing there that wants to take, I think it's 20% of our option tax and use for other items. I'm 100% for the option tax staying like it is, and having a better road to travel on.
Okay, great. I'll ask one more question, then we can do the closing remarks. Okay. So when talking about Waterloo's future, what do you think the biggest challenges would be to overcome in the future?
The biggest challenge is, I think, is crime within this community. It's nothing to pick up the courier and see where there's been a shooting one night or another night. Although, like I mentioned, I think our police are doing a fantastic job. I would like to see the crime rate. You're never going to get it down to zero, but I would love to see it get down to zero. Waterloo, as I say, is a great place to live. A super great place to live. I would rather not live anyplace else but Waterloo.
That goes into,
do you want to go ahead and give your closing remarks?
Okay. As mayor, what I'll bring to Waterloo is the skills that I've learned in my businesses. I'll bring with me, and will be paramount as mayor of Waterloo for a better Waterloo. I believe I can do a better job than what we have for mayor at this time. I think we need to keep the 1% option tax, 100% for the road use, and not take it off other items. Other than that, I would say vote Wayne Nathan for mayor of Waterloo, November 7th.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that has been the 2023 Waterloo Municipal Debate. Before we end the night, I'd like to give big thanks to our moderators, Jamie Wenfro and Maria Kuiper, for taking time out of their evening. I will also like to thank the City of Waterloo for allowing us to use the City Hall chambers tonight, as well as the Waterloo Community Television for recording this debate for us. And thank you to everyone else for attending this debate. And please remember to vote on Tuesday, November 7th. Thank you.